So a lot of times you hear that a contractor is licensed, bonded, insured, right? What does that really mean? In Arizona, which we'll speak to, for the ROC, the Registrar of Contractors, when you get licensed, you're bonded, licensed, insured, essentially, right? And what that means is you have your license, you passed the exams, you have the work experience. You have to prove that, yeah, you are entitled to be licensed because you understand your expertise in whether you're a subcontractor or GC. With insurance, of course, you have to show the state that you have proof of insurance, and that's where you go out and you work with different insurance companies that are going to insure you for general liability and workers' comp and vehicle and everything that goes into working as a general contractor. We have our insurance premiums, and that insures my staff, my supervision, and of course everyone that I'm hiring to execute our projects. So that's key, and you have to have that. And bonding is just a general bond. So here in Arizona, when you get licensed, you pay a fee and you have a general bond. Typically it's $10,000 bond, very minimal. And so you're bonded through the ROC so that if you do fail to perform, you know, there's fees that go into the reserve so that the normal client, if they have a claim against you or a contractor and the contractor fails to perform, well, now the Registrar of Contractors or the ROC can suspend the license of that contractor that's failed to perform, and they have a cash reserve. So for example, if you have wood flooring and it was installed improperly and not per the ROC and not how it should be installed, and the subcontractor that you hired was licensed and he's insured and he's bonded through the state, well, what ends up happening, if he can't perform, the ROC is going to suspend his license, maybe terminate him. They're going to follow financially with the sub, but in the meantime, they have to bond that. They're going to take care of that for the client, so the client, they could bring in another contractor that's licensed, bonded, insured, and that cash reserve that the state has will now help the client so that they can have the floor removed and a new one installed as it should have been the first time. That's why it's really important for our client base to understand how important it is to have contractors that are licensed, bonded, insured, because now you have protection, right? It's always going to be more expensive to hire a contractor that's doing it the right way and has the right insurance requirements and is licensed to do the work and is bonded. But you also have the protection if something goes wrong that you know that you can have it resolved and corrected as it should be. But bonding is just a general bond. We spoke in our other video about larger bonds, and typically when you're working on a large commercial project or government or even this on a hillside with an HOA, we have to actually acquire a bond that's completely in addition to and separate from the state, the minimum state requirement or the minimum state bond through the ROC. And so this bond is specific to the project through the duration of the build time, this protection or a surety to the clients or investors that we're going to take care of said project.